Wallis, Phaedra, Morgan, Auntie and Nijmeh. Long ago, 5 women lived in harmony. Then, everything changed when coronavirus attacked. Friends from childhood, we've moved across the world, divided but never losing touch. Almost 10 years have passed, and now a pandemic has banded us together on a quest to support each other and share our collected knowledge, experience, and interests. And though times look tough, I believe together we can change the world.
Hi, Phaedra.
Hi.
Oh my God, look how we haven't seen you in so long.
I'm sorry I was gone.
Where were you?
My family figured out how to use Skype all together. And it was a magnificent feat for my father to first locate his laptop and then also download and use Skype. So we crossed barriers.
Oh my God,
so
we love that.
I couldn't leave, you know. I felt like I had to be a part of that moment, you know.
Of course.
I was baffled. I'm working as a real estate assistant for this lady. It's very interesting.
Have you sold anything? A property?
Nobody's buying.
We did not, because the economy exploded.
Yes, famously.
And,
yes.
And so she's just like confused, and now I'm confused. So we're just being confused together.
Are you still doing that? But you're like being able to get paid, right?
Yes. I'm very blessed. I've been able to retain payment, even though she only pays in checks and refuses to do anything digitally.
Bless her heart.
Are you in your new house thing? That I think that's the last time I talked to you.
Yes. I've moved since September of last year, and I'm in a home now with doors.
Are we gonna do a Phaedra shows us her house episode?
Yes.
It is not tidy right now. Don't do that to me.
No, not right now. And we already have plans for today. Another episode.
Okay, good.
We have an agenda.
Yeah.
Wallace,
I think it's fine.
Did you put yourself on mute?
I was crunching ice. But it was like, I didn't know what it would sound like to you, but I heard it because I have my headphones in, so I heard it to me, and I was like, nothing is worse than the energy that I have.
Yeah.
Well, no, it's only ASMR if it's soothing. It's like, it's trauma otherwise.
I would like to comment on the glow that I'm feeling from each and every one of you right now.
Glow?
The glow, like this beauteous glow.
No, it's a side light.
I really miss you all.
Sweaty. Phaedra, I also feel like I haven't looked worse, but also
no, this yellow vibe. I feel like our Geminis are speaking to each other.
The Geminis again.
Because
bring up
we're
our
twins.
Geminism every episode.
Geminism.
Are you feeling yellow a lot recently? Like, has
I
that
feel
been
like I just need yellow. That's what it is.
That is exactly it. Morgan, me and you. Okay, see, this makes me feel like someone understands me. Everything I'm wearing right now has been yellow because I'm like, I don't want to wear anything darker because I feel like that brings negative energy around.
Everything I've been wearing is black.
Thank you, Nijmeh.
I've also been dressing like I'm going to the beach because that's just the way. That's what I want from my life.
That's the vibe.
Wait, is that a Gemini thing? Like,
yes.
so like, I'm just asking for a friend. Like, do Sagittarius, like when Sagittarius wear like pajamas all the time, like what would you say?
Smart.
But like, you're in black, so which is very Sag appropriate.
I have worn this out to pick up pizza once.
I like that. Did you also have the buns? Because I'm digging that whole pajama buns vibe.
You like the buns?
I'm loving it.
Look at that. Any closer and you're going to be like, I don't like the buns. I hate buns.
I'm looking like either like a super cool like middle school English teacher vibe.
Right. Right?
Oh my God.
Yes, gas me up.
Oh my God.
Gas me up. Gas me up.
That's what I'm getting.
That's exactly it.
Can't stress enough. I have woke up with a crick in my neck, and me just saying gas me up and twisting like that has really.
It hurts a lot.
That's how you know you're getting older.
I'm like the second youngest here.
I changed our intro to, because you said that we were all 25, Nijmeh, and I'm like, that's a damn lie. Like literally only 1/5 of us. So
Only one of us.
So it's like in our 25th year, which is not a lie.
Yeah, I was gonna be like, technically we're all in our 25th year.
You are the oldest, Antoinette.
Antoinette, you old as shit.
Yeah, and he's like a full year older than me because we're both early in the year.
We're literally like.
True.
I'm 96 because I like skipped a year when I was little.
Yeah. I mean, that's what I meant. I'm
Our
sorry.
little
I always
baby.
forget that.
100 and some-
Nijmeh.
We're 369 days apart.
That was really quick math. Did you already know that, or did you do that?
It's the math. It's 365.
Not hard. Like,
What?
can you do 365 plus 4?
Oh, I didn't hear the question. I thought you were calculating something else.
I'm so confused.
Fraction. 365 minus 6.
I can't do that. That doesn't sound like a real number.
365 minus 6. That was the answer. I mean, that was the. What?
Gemini's are also famously.
So first of all, okay, so you're assuming I knew a lot of information off the top of my head.
I think
I know
that you knew both of their birthdays, Phaedra.
I know both of your birthdays, but I had to put that in perspective.
And how many days are in a year?
No, see, I didn't process it like that. I was like, dang, so we have to go.
Sometimes there aren't 365 days. Sometimes, including this year, there are 366.
That is true.
It's a
Were
fucking
you
leap year.
Maybe you were born in a leap year.
I was born in a leap year.
Well, then that's 7
I
days.
was due on February 29th, but I was early.
So wait, are you like 4 years old?
No, because she wasn't born on February.
No, I was born on the 16th of February.
I have no concept of time or math. I don't know why everyone's like, no. It's like, not everyone thinks, okay?
Thermo rights.
Not everyone is educated. Okay?
How did you guys assume that I was on that cognitive level? But
Like,
I'm not.
That should be a segue into today's topic.
Okay, yeah, we should. Morgan, do you want to do the clapper? Do you want to clap us in?
I already did it.
I'm sorry. I didn't notice.
Because I've already started recording. And I was like, I'm going to record now, so I did that.
Okay.
Not that we need it anymore, because it's not like we're really having to sync audio. And
You got
I
one.
know. I also never understood the point of the clapping thing.
Ooh, it's
Even though you just said it. You just said it. Yes, you famously just explained it, and I will be frank, I don't know what you're talking about.
This is a terrifying.
Ah.
You gave you that photo of me. Put it down. But Morgan.
Yeah.
Do you want us to shut up and be mute now? We can mute ourselves.
Muting?
Well, I mean, I feel like we were fine with everyone's mics on last episode, so I'd like to continue doing that. So I'd like to be interrupted. I'd like for people to chime in with their opinions and shit, because it's a discussion, not a lecture, right?
Said no white man ever.
Well, what I wanted to talk about today is something I was going to talk about anyway, but thankfully, I actually have the platform to do it. So I want to talk about what I've been doing to take care of my mental health, and discuss how you all have been doing it too, and maybe we can share tips and share our strategies and things. So what I'll be talking about is based on primarily my lived experience as someone that has had difficulties with it, but also talking as someone who is a professional training in cognitive behavioral therapy. So yeah. Have you guys heard of CBT before? Do you know what it is?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, we have someone that doesn't know. So basically cognitive behavioral therapy, everything that you experience is based on the relationship between your thoughts, your feelings, emotionally and physically, and your behavior. And at least on the level that I'm helping people, we're looking at what you're doing and how that's maintaining the kind of your difficulties and how you can change that. So it sounds really simple, but it's actually very hard. But it's manageable and very accessible, which is why it's one of the first things that people do, well, first ways that we offer help to people, at least in the UK, with their mental health. So it's based on the present difficulties, what you're experiencing in the here and now, as they like to say. Because it's different from like other kinds of therapies where you like talk about your relationship with your parents, talk about your past, talk about your childhood. You don't do that in CBT, at least the level that I do. We just talk about what you're feeling right now and how we can help you change that by changing your behavior. Make sense?
Yes.
Yeah.
Very good synopsis. I approve. A+.
You approve of this? So I've struggled with my mental health pretty much all my life, but I would say this year in particular has been quite difficult for me. And the best thing about it is that everything was like, honestly, I was on a high. I was doing great. I had like one of the best weeks ever. And then this happened. This whole COVID-19 happened, and I was like, okay, I have to rethink everything I've already known, blah, blah, blah. What do I do? And luckily I've come up with something that's really helpful. So I kind of wanted to share what I've been doing to help myself based on CBT, as well as kind of just what generally works for me. So you probably heard this a lot, but like I find it very, very, very helpful to introduce structure in my daily life. So this helps not only with people that are struggling with their mood, so like depression perhaps, but it also helps with anxiety. So in terms of depression, CBT sees activity as medicine. So it's like you do an activity every day, something, and it should be either a routine activity, a necessary activity, or a pleasurable activity, or all three of those things. And you can look at it in terms of that, but my favorite way to look at it is base: body care, achievement, connection with others, and enjoyment. And you should be trying to do at least one activity in one of those realms every day. And it can be very little, and it's also very relative. So the way that it helps with depression is it kind of sees activity as medicine. So it's daily doses of it, daily doses of activity. But then also, I don't know if you're familiar with some nursing terms, because I've been a nursing assistant as well. PRN is the idea that you have medication that's daily, but then you also have medication as needed, so a little bit extra sometimes. So you can think of activity as like, you do these things, basics as needed, no matter how you're feeling. You listen to the plan, not the mood, because your mood changes according to what your activity is. And then maybe do a little bit extra if you're feeling a little bit extra low or a little bit, And then in terms of your anxiety, when you have structure, it's great because you have less time to worry. So I came up with some things that have been helping me in terms of both body care, all of body care, achievement, connection with others, and enjoyment, specifically in isolation. So in terms of body care, what I realized I need is every morning, every weekday, I go for a run in the park. Now, that's not everybody's cup of tea. Honestly, I never thought it would be my cup of tea. But ever since I've been stuck in one place for like all the time, I find I have just all this pent up energy and I need to get it out some way. But also I found that it's just a great way to jumpstart your day. Like, how do you guys find it's hard to like get up in the morning, especially when you don't have to go anywhere? You just got to open up your emails, see what work's doing, blah, blah, blah. Like, I find that it's really helpful for me to just go for a quick run, at least 10 minutes. It's just a jog, really. It's not like a sprint. Sometimes I'll walk, but just to get my body going. And that's one thing I do in the morning. And then I also find that yoga helps after work in the evening.
Yeah, that was something I discovered like actually a couple of years ago, because I kind of got into this routine with like studying for my degree. Just like I would wake up and just be sitting at a desk all day working. And I found I never felt awake. Like even in the afternoon, I'd still be really tired.
Yeah.
And I realized it was because like my body didn't realize it had to wake up.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't moving.
Yeah.
And if you wake up and immediately do something with your body, it does literally jumpstart you. It makes your body go like, oh, okay, we're awake now.
Yeah.
And then you're awake for the rest of the day.
Yeah.
And it improves like everything about the day. It just makes it better.
I completely agree. Do you still, so what do you do to help with that now?
Sometimes I jog, but I've actually weirdly started jogging like in my house on the spot because I like doing it barefoot. It's supposed to be better for caring for your joints.
Yeah, it is actually.
And I also like sometimes I'll go for a walk. I do a lot of yoga, and sometimes if I'm lazy, I just do like push-ups or sit-ups or something. Like today, I wasn't feeling it, so I just did like 10 push-ups, 10 sit-ups, 10 squats, and then I was like, it's okay. You know, you got to also be aware that like you can't work out full out every single day. You need to give your body
but just a little something every day, just a little thing is really good. So even on days that I feel so bad, I will literally be like, just one lap, and you can walk the whole thing if you want. You don't even have to run.
Also,
just get out.
I would say like when you live somewhere cold, like where I am, it is quite cold. My joints actually, like I know I'm not that old, but they do get really stiff and sore. Like if I sit cross-legged for too long, my knees hurt because it's cold.
My knees, they start howling.
It's just about
like,
mobility.
You gotta stretch, otherwise you set solid. So
yeah.
That's my top tip for you. Care for your joints.
But it's not just about exercise either. Body care can like, honestly, in the toughest of days, I find that I'm writing in my journal at the end of the day, body care I did today was shower. Because sometimes, honestly, when you're feeling really low, that's the one thing that you're able to do. And that's an achievement in itself. You know, that counts.
Brings you up feeling clean and, you know,
It depends on what works for you, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like me personally, like I would say, going on that, like I'm a very sensory, like I'm very keen to senses, like smells and stuff. So like if you shower and you smell good, it like automatically like lifts my mood. So that's something like I agree with definitely.
Yeah.
In terms of, like even if I don't do that, I'll at least like light a candle or incense or something that, you know, it just brings the mood up a little bit.
Yeah.
It's amazing what one thing.
You used to say that when we were younger. I remember vividly you talking about like cleanliness. I can't remember what, but like something. Yeah, Antoinette, like you.
I'm a stickler for hygiene.
Yeah, no. I remember you talking about it though. Like I can't remember what the discussion was, but I remember seeing you sort of like uniform and you talking about like smelling good.
Not really good. She always had like perfume in her bag.
Yes, yeah. And the glass.
Like had lotion as well. You were never ashy.
Yes.
So the next thing would be achievement. Now this one is very, 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 very relative to what you consider an achievement. Honestly, sometimes, like in the past, when I've had really, really bad days, an achievement for me is that I got out of bed. You know? But recently, my achievement has been like, you know, I did work. I went to work. I did the things at work. I added to my story a little bit because I've been writing a story. It's been like work and my hobbies. Like, what would you guys say is kind of your achievements or what you consider an achievement on a daily basis?
I write like shitty fiction. I just finished the 30,000 word thing, which I'm actually really happy with.
How long was it?
30,000.
Don't call it fiction.
That really is an achievement. I don't think I've ever written 30,000 words in my life.
Yeah, it was actually the fastest 30,000 words I've ever written. I started it halfway through March and I finished it last week.
That is so good. That's so cool.
Yeah, so I'm really happy with it.
Authors everywhere are quaking.
So I'm gonna do that.
Where do you
share it? Talking about you the other day because I remember when I was younger reading like the first chapter and a half of like a beautiful story that you read. And I remember thinking, I was like, this could actually be something, and I really hope she continues writing it. And I'm not sure if I ever verbally said that to you, but like I hope you continue doing these things.
I think I know the story that you're talking about, and no, I did not continue it because it's terrible. It's so bad. Like I go back and I read my old writing, and I'm like, oh my god, kill me. Oh.
Okay, but we all grow, we all develop voices, but that doesn't mean you can't just push it in the right direction, you know?
Agreed.
But I actually have a book ongoing that I'm writing. I think Wallis has read it. I don't know if anyone else has, but it's still going. I will finish it one day, Wallis.
Yeah, but the thing is, right? Okay, so like speaking as someone who's literally trained to tell the quality of like writers' work, you naturally have a gift for like world building. Like all of the great, you have that kind of that quality that all of the best, I think, young adult fiction writers have.
Proudly, girl.
It's so good. Like you can make a world and you remember the rules of the world, you remember the conventions, the characters, and the development, and it's like you can lose yourself
I built
in
an
it.
entire character to make a Yogi Bear pun. That's the only reason that character exists.
And I said what I said. So T.
What would you have considered a recent achievement?
When I started working again, it gave me a lot of incentive to like make sure that I look okay every day. Well, look okay to me, like specifically, not to impress anybody or whatever, but for me to feel like I look like the woman I want to be every day. And so my newest achievement is getting up and like doing my eye makeup because it's entertaining to me. It allows me to be a little bit creative. And then I'm like also a baddie, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's great. What about you, Auntie?
Oh my gosh, it's been rough. So it's like I haven't really been consistent in anything lately. However, probably the most consistent thing I've been consistent in is probably writing in my journal. This used to be what I intended this to be was a travel journal. It never took off as a travel journal. I maybe wrote like about one trip in it. But since then, I've like tried to write every day, like a page, and kind of just like write thoughts and experience for the day, what I did.
Good.
And I've been doing, and probably what's been helping me is probably just cleaning, just making sure the area is like, arid and just nice, and just making sure everything's put together, kind of thing. That helps me as well. If not, it'll just be going outside and doing meditation.
Yeah. Yeah. How about you, Wallis?
I'm not quite good at anything really. So
Shut the fuck up.
I just like I don't I've never been, I mean, you all know this, like I'm quite erratic with like organizing or like just stuff. So I guess achievement wise,
Can I
don't know. I've been fine. Yeah, please.
I think, Wallace, I think that you are famously bad at recognizing your own achievements.
You are.
We are your hype squad, baby.
What we're doing right now is literally an achievement for you. This was you're basically.
No, I manipulated you guys into complimenting me. No, but I mean, okay, so like I will say like an achievement.
You'll go and get complimented, bitch.
No, but I mean like, okay, so achievement, if I was to like put something down, like I've really treasured in the wake of COVID-19, like how much my brain is able to like decipher what it actually values, which sounds more complicated than it is. All it is that like I go for so many walks with my mom and we chat a bunch, and I get to be with, my sister, and I get to see my dad, and it's I don't know, I think an achievement is that I think I like being a functioning member of my family in like a positive, useful way.
Yeah.
And I mean, achievement for all of us too, like base level is this.
This is, definitely.
So I'll just take that as well.
An achievement itself is to even recognize your values, because that's so important.
Yeah. It's tricky though.
Yeah, it is tricky. And then, so the next part would be connection with others. And I mean,
yeah.
It's really important to have some form of connection with others every day. And believe it or not, I've still struggled with this even before we were all told to go in quarantine. But it can be as simple as like just sending someone a text, sending someone, or even just like checking in with someone, like even someone you don't know that well, like, hey, how are you doing? But then obviously right now it's even more difficult. So it's been so great to have Zoom. It's been great to have Netflix Party, even though I haven't used it yet, but I'm planning to.
Party?
Pardon?
House party?
House party. I've been using that with my family, which has been a really great way for us to stay connected. We were playing all sorts of games on it yesterday.
You can play games on it. It's amazing.
Yeah,
I love it.
It's really cute. It's especially cute to see like my mom and my sister and I played the quiz and we did slang terms. And I taught my mom the phrase weird flex but okay, and she used it in context recently.
The power she has.
The next thing I've been talking about, I have a very complicated relationship with social media. I find that at first it was great, but I feel like it's becoming a bit much, overwhelming. There's a lot of ads, there's a lot of people promoting things. It's not just about sharing content, it's about selling now. But also I just feel like it's
like a lot of people do though. You're not alone.
Yeah,
it's overwhelming. Like Instagram is like it's the greatest thing and the worst thing because like on Facebook, I just hate how everyone's sold out. I mean, I guess those ads and stuff, those things to keep it free for us, but at the same time, it's not even worth it sometimes.
Yeah.
It's like I feel like a lot of people have recently been on this wave of detoxing, getting off and coming back, and getting off and coming back. And it shouldn't have to be like that if it's social media. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Instagram, especially, I find that it's really easy to compare yourself to other people. And that's a hard thing I struggle with. Like I always feel like I should be doing this, I should be doing that, when in reality I should be doing whatever the hell I want to be doing. Interestingly, when COVID-19 first came out, I started using social media a hell of a lot more because I found like I needed it to see what other people were doing, what I should be doing, communicating what I should be doing. But then it actually became my worst enemy because not only was I being bombarded with every COVID-19 pandemic crisis update that was giving me anxiety, but I also kind of felt like I wasn't doing enough to I just felt like I wasn't doing enough, and I also felt like because we have so much time, I was just on it all the time as well. Mm-hmm. So actually, over the past week, I mean, I don't call it a detox because it's just kind of a break. I haven't been on social media much, and that's been so good for me. So it's just recognizing the balance of connecting with others in a way that's healthy for you.
I think right before all this started, I started to kind of feel like I was pulling away from like talking to people in general because I was kind of isolated here. And I'm so used to having all of you guys around me, all my family around me. Everyone was so close, and now everyone's so far apart. So it was kind of just like adjusting to that distance, and I started to like not want to communicate via technology because I was like, it's not real. I don't want to do it anymore. And then I started pushing everybody away from me. But then I had to like have this revelation, being like, you're just like severing connections for no reason. And then when I have an urge to like check on someone, I just send the message anyway. If I have the urge to call someone and hear their voice, I'm gonna do it. You know, instead of just being like, oh, I don't want to bother them, or oh, like I don't want to really talk. You know, but every time I have that urge to like reach out to someone, I'm just gonna do it. I don't care if they respond or not. I'm
so important. It's so important to listen to your body and what you need, because I've had to do that. Previously I would have told people and identified as someone that's quite introverted, but the one thing I've learned from this quarantine is that I think I'm more extroverted than I realized, and I find myself craving social interaction, but in a way I get guilty, like, oh, what if they're busy? What if they don't want to do this? And now I'm just like, I'm gonna call them, and if they're busy, they're busy.
What they want to do.
Yeah, like
exactly. The worst could be like, I'm busy, I'll call you back, or I'll talk to you another time. Like, it's not like, go away, you're bothering me.
Yeah.
Phaedra, I hear what you're saying, because like there was a period when I was just refused to talk to people, because it was like the best what the best was that they would see that like maybe I wasn't feeling super great and all that kind of stuff. And for some reason that was like, oh my God, that's so much worse than what the worst could be. Like the best was the worst at the same time. But at the same, in the same breath, like I'm literally made out of all of you. How could I possibly, like, to deny the opportunity and the offer to be with you is literally now me realizing that it's a denial to be with myself. So that's a very strange.
A word. Yeah. I'm gonna get a little thing to say a word. Like everyone's making so many valid points. A word. I have like a little fan here. I just gotta write a word on it. Like.
No, don't write a word. Just leave it like that. It's just party people. It's like party people is so much more powerful.
I think another interesting thing that you touched on, Wallis, was like, I used to think that you should only really be interacting with people when you're at your best and you're feeling great and you have only positivity to offer. But honestly, you need it more when you're feeling the opposite. And that's okay to need that, and it's okay to sometimes be a bit down. It's okay to not be the party people fans. I love it. We are the party people. This is where the party's at. Yeah, like that's one thing I've had to learn is like I don't think I'm bad at connecting with others until I'm like not feeling great, and that's actually when you need it the most. So it's actually like being a bit strict with yourself, like even on days when you feel like the last thing you want is for someone to see you being vulnerable, or see you feeling down, or see you having a panic attack. Honestly, they're probably the person that would help you get out of it. And it's not like you're spreading the negativity, it's them helping you come out of it, you know?
Now that is so true.
Or just relating, or just being there, you know?
Yeah, it's just tricky not feeling like cumbersome and like a burden to people. I don't know how to get through that.
And it's something that we all, I feel like, I don't know where that comes from. I don't know why, because it's very common, isn't it?
I know that like I feel bad, like if I'm in a bad frame of mind and I know that someone who like I might contact can't do anything about it, I feel reluctant to contact them because I'm like, well, then I'm just going to make them upset and they can't do anything to make me feel better. So then I'll just feel worse that they're upset. So like, what's the point? Do you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, totally.
For sure. Yeah, I've experienced that. But one thing I've realized I think it's part of it's my training, but also through therapy that I've done myself, is like in times when you might not be the bravest about something that you're experiencing and you might not see your own strength, the people that really care about you will, and they won't be worried because they know that you'll get through it. And maybe they don't have all the answers, but sometimes it's enough to just have someone else be there with you. You know, be there to say, I understand, I feel that you're not alone.
Yeah,
that can go such a long way.
I do appreciate that. I don't know, it's something that I've been really struggling with this week because like I think I'm the only one out of you that's like actually living alone. Like I'm completely alone in my house, and I'm supposed to be living with 3 other people. So I've kind of had this whole thing of like, I live with other people, but yet I am still alone in the times of trouble. How did I let this happen to myself? And like,
don't put it like that. You didn't let it happen to yourself.
This is beyond anybody's
It's your fault that coronavirus is here.
Yes. How dare you?
No, not like that, but like I feel like everyone else
is your specific situation.
It sounds really stupid, but like everyone else is getting to spend this with like their families and their friends and their partners and shit. And I'm like, there's a lot of dead air in this house at the moment. Like it's just me, myself, and my snacks.
Yeah.
You know?
But don't discredit the fact that you just like identified at least 2 people and a third if you count a snack, which you are. I'm smooth, but I'm not that smooth. But like, there is something to say. I think that like one thing that gets lost in the narrative sometimes that I hear, especially social media wise, and I don't know if this is too converse to what you were talking about earlier, Morgan, but like I have a lot of trouble I have a lot of trouble with the fact that like there's not enough discussion about like resilience or like acknowledging like how resilient people are. And I think, you know, Nijmeh, I literally can see you're writing, you're exercising, that, you know, what is also keeping you company is your resilience and steadfastness throughout all of this. Like you just, and all of us, like there is something really, really scary about being like, but I can do it. Like, and I have done it and I will do it. And, you know, it's tricky. I know for each person it's a bit different when you can reach out, and I still struggle with that. Like most of my stuff, like I don't feel great reaching out, but
I also feel like I want to tell all of you, and this is me telling myself as well, like I want you all to to contact me when you're feeling literally at your lowest and at your worst, and like you don't deserve to speak to anyone because you're feeling so bad and you will only spread the negativity. I want you to contact me. I want to like be there for you all, because I've been in that same position, and I want to have someone where I can feel that comfortable with too. And here's one very vulnerable thing is I've had a difficulty my whole life being vulnerable in terms of even just crying in front of people. And achievements I've had this year, and this is probably the saddest thing ever, but I've cried in front of some of my best friends this year, and I would have never have done that. Like my best friends here, I would have never have done that, because I would have thought that's the worst thing you can do to your best friend is to make them sad. But actually, I realized they're not sad. They're just like, oh, I'm sorry you're feeling this way. Come, let me take care of you. And that was the best thing ever. I had like a sleepover, which is really cute, at one of my friend's house. And we just like, we cooked, we did our nails, and we told scary stories. And it was the most adorable thing that I needed that day, you know?
This was before social distancing.
This is back in January.
You get a bunch of comments that are like, where is she? Where is she? Call the police.
Report her.
That is not social distancing approved.
Yeah, it's like connecting with others, not just when you're feeling good. It's more important when you're feeling not so good. The next thing was enjoyment. Like, I guess for me, I've had to rethink what I enjoy, because most of the things I enjoy the most in this world involve not being in my home. Like, for example, this year I've taken up woodwork as a hobby, so going to the woodwork shop. I started doing CrossFit. I started doing CrossFit, and I really enjoyed that. What else have I been? I started doing pole as well.
Ooh,
Obviously,
I'm jealous.
I've been doing a lot of like extracurriculars that were giving me a lot of.
I'm just saying.
It was queer pole as well, so it was like a lot of different, you know.
Love it.
Yes, it was.
I love it.
Yeah. Also, I had to
we're here for it, Morgan. We support you.
It was like, yeah, it was really, I loved it. And then I honestly panicked when I realized I don't have those things anymore, because it's like, what do I enjoy again that I can do at home? And I've had to rethink that. One thing I always had was that, as someone that I guess I identify as an artist, even though I'm not career-wise, I always have art ideas and ideas for projects. And for me, now all I do really is art. All I do is create. This week alone, I've been editing these videos. I've been doing graphic design courses and designing the logo for this show. I started writing a story, and I have all these other projects that I've been working. I started doing a watercolor Gumbe portrait today.
Nice.
Which
we love culture.
Yes. So like things like that. Also, my flatmate and we bought a PS2 and we started being gamers. So that's been
my
fun.
God.
Our favorite so far has been Sims 2.
Classic.
Do you remember the days? The days we would all collectively spend. I do remember them. I remember 3 of us trying to sit in one office chair.
Yep.
I remember the cheat codes.
Motherload.
Do you remember there was one Christmas where you and I beat Mario 64 together? We stayed up all night.
Yes. That was on a Wii remote.
Over, right? Like our parents slept over. It was weird.
So that was when you were living down like St. George way.
Yeah.
That was a nice house. You had a nice little wharf.
Oh my God, that house.
That house inside, but from the outside it looked amazing.
Yeah.
Didn't even look like a house, because it had like a little bus stop outside.
And it was so unassuming, and then you open it and you're like,
it literally was.
From the water, it was a beautiful house. From the road, it was.
Yeah, when you're like, this is my house, I was like, she's living in a bus station.
But then you were like,
then I was like, I love that.
And you're like, oh my lord.
Nijmeh, you lived in really cool places. Like, I only really got to see your second house, and I love like the fact that you have like basically a whole flat like to yourself. on the bottom.
Things about that house. It was A, definitely haunted, and B, gave me a lung infection because
What do
it was
you
so
mean?
down.
Wait, you got the lung infection from the haunting?
Maybe. But probably from the damp.
Do haunting.
I remember you saying it was haunted, and like low-key, like I remember when we used to do oh my gosh, I've lost the word for it.
Sewing?
Sewing?
Oh, it is sewing.
Knitting.
Stitching.
Oh, stitching.
Embroidery.
Embroidery, yes.
Stabbing.
No, not quite that. But yeah, and like it would come to be like nighttime because it was winter time, and I'm like, okay, I gotta go.
That house was like hella haunted. I'm sorry.
I didn't know that. Otherwise, I would not have come over. I like literally don't have time on my calendar for haunting.
Like I think you told me that one week, and the next week I was like, I'm out of here before 6:30 because like.
No one told me that.
I know that house. It freaked me out. I didn't like that house.
I remember you used to come to my place, Antoinette, and you would specifically say that you would never take St. Mark's Road because it was haunted.
But it was. It was though.
Honestly, it is because like my entire family experienced this experience, and like you can't tell me otherwise.
But our house in Argentina is like good haunted. It's like the pleasant haunted. It's like the townspeople around us won't come to our land sometimes because
you just said townspeople, land. You're describing like a 17th century haunting. There's no such thing as a good haunting. I'm so sorry. I love your family, but I will not visit now.
It's a good haunting.
Bye.
What
I don't know her.
Do? What good? Do they bake you a cake every week?
They keep away evil. They're like
How can you be sure?
They are the evil.
They're not. I promise you.
The one thing I was gonna ask you all, because I was saying how I've like been doing my art projects and playing video games, and I've also been baking and cooking, which to be honest, for 2 people in this house is too much. What have you all been doing for enjoyment in general during this time of quarantine?
Playing guitar. I got a guitar literally the week before the lockdown started, and I've been slowly trying to learn it. I have successfully played like real people do by Hosier.
Nice.
Wow.
Yep.
Good job.
I didn't know that was a song. I thought you were just like saying that you play like real people do, and I was like,
do it, girl.
I love that for you.
What about you?
What have you guys been doing for enjoyment?
For enjoyment. Oh, I've been learning how to play video games with my husband.
Which one?
Which one? You meant which video?
No, she meant Jeff.
Don't out me. He's just sitting over there staring at me. There's this game called Overcooked that we've been playing.
You overcook eggs, and then that's the end of the game.
Wrong. It is a chef's experience. You get different tasks.
No, it's not.
And then sometimes you have to chop things. You have to prepare the plate. Huh?
Is one of them to cook eggs?
No, I've cooked burgers, sushi,
no eggs.
Steamed.
Can I cook sushi?
Oh, that's what.
Yes, I did.
I was like, girl,
you did do a good job.
You can prepare it.
Right, I guess.
Wait, you're playing a game where, and then after the game, you go and do the game again in real life and cook?
You play it on the console.
But you
don't get go in real life and you're like,
but I never get to eat it. Never.
Okay.
I feel like that would frustrate me that I can't eat all the food that I make.
Right, because I'll be making like 40-something burgers and I can't have a single burger. It's like, why would I put in all this work? But
you found enjoyment.
I did. So my new enjoyment. Also my new enjoyment is button smashing when we play Tekken. Because I usually beat him if I continuously just smack the remote around.
Oh.
And it infuriates
that type of button
because
smacking.
It's clear that I don't have any skills.
And like actual buttons. I was
no. Button smashing. It's just when you move your fingers really rapidly around.
That was a euphemism.
My first thought was like clothing buttons. I was like, oh, you get a hammer. That sounds fun. Like smashing, like therapeutic.
Yes, get out the hammer.
No, I was just like, she's saying something and I don't know if we should tag it as like, not for children. Continue. What else are you enjoying besides smashing buttons?
Smashing buttons. We got a lawnmower so I can go out in my backyard.
Oh, that's such an adult. Oh my god.
I know.
You bought
No, I did not mow the lawn at all.
But you bought one. You own one.
Yes, we own a lawnmower.
But like, it's quarantine. Why didn't you should have saved the money, gotten a good pair of like scissors, like Fisker scissors, and just cut your lawn.
Entertain myself.
I wouldn't say it's entertaining. It's more like, I'm sure that's a form of meditation.
I'm sure. I mean, I did kind of do that still, you know, because I'm just strange and I didn't want to mow the lawn and I just wanted to be outside. So I was like helping.
You know, when like the barber like takes the clippers and then afterwards gets the scissors just for precision. Like Phaedra.
Exactly. It's a little flair, you know, a little snippy.
Okay.
Yeah, and now we can go in the backyard, you know. We put a blanket out there one time and we just chilled in the sun, but then we got attacked by bumblebees, which I feel bad for swatting at because they're endangered. Yeah, I mean, there's a real problem.
So they were really smashing your buttons. Those bumblebees
They smashed all my buttons. All my sensitive bee buttons. I didn't like it.
This audio clip is not doing it for me.
They're so loud. They buzz, and so you know they're coming, so you're like trying to dodge, but then you don't want to be mean to them because they're endangered, and so you don't want to like. What's the solution?
Perhaps go outside with that band on your head. Do you ever go out with that band on your head? Because it is like yellow and black. And they're like,
I do, and then my hair smells like coconuts. So they're like,
that's literally the reason why they're like swarming.
You just smell too good.
I like how we're like, what have you enjoyed? And then you're like sharing with us and we're like, well, it's your fault. Like, no wonder. Like, you deserve to have your buttons smashed. Like, of course they bumble. Like, look at what you're wearing. Look at how you smell. But like, I'm really glad you're thriving.
Lara Croft is great. That's what I've been playing.
Oh,
doesn't she have spiky boobs?
So her boobs.
Oh, so they're just rounded triangles.
They're rounded quite
fine.
Fairly realistically.
Sure. So they're like ski hills.
Yeah.
Yes, famously. Yes, sure. Sure.
Love that.
And I've also decided I'm switching careers to be Lara Croft because that looks like an amazing life.
You'd be so good as Lara Croft. Oh my god, you look so good in all the getup. You know what I mean? Like when she got like the straps and stuff.
And then also she gets to like do gymnastics in ruins and then like shoot up bad people and then like reminisce about her childhood.
And wear a thigh holster.
Yes, thigh holsters are everything. Also, Morgan, have you ever considered a career as a stunt double?
I actually did, like seriously, because I met someone who's training to be one, and she said that. So she's like a Asian, like British woman, and she's saying that there's like literally only like 4 Black women stunt doubles, and they're in high demand. And it's like if you can do a certain amount of basic gymnastics, then you could like easily be hired. And you can make like 400 pounds per pull, and by pull I mean like harnesses to like do flips and stuff. The only problem is I actually looked into it, and you do need more than basic gymnastics. You have to know like some martial arts. You have to be able to like swim well. And then I just realized I can't be bothered.
And also, it's really bad for your body, bud. Like
yeah, true. Lots of danger.
I mean, I'm okay. I'm honestly okay with the danger. I just can't be bothered.
I'm not.
Okay.
Sorry. Okay with the danger.
Crushing her dreams while listening. I'm not.
I just I don't want to judo and martial arts. I don't feel like learning how to do a motorbike. I don't feel like I don't need. I don't want to do it.
I mean, you know how to ride a scooter, so you basically are motorbike trained.
True. And like every time I see one of those headlines.
To that little purple scooter you had for a while.
Oh yeah.
Okay, can I?
70 kilometers per hour, it takes you back to the future.
Speaking of that, remember that time we were going to Megan's house?
Yes, and it like you were on the back.
This was a slight incline.
You're going up that hill by
Switzerland.
And my bike was just like, nope, and just stopped. It just stopped on the hill. And then luckily Megan's mom was just driving by and was able to pick us up.
And was like, here you go, come on in, girls. And we were like, what a coincidence.
Such a good coincidence.
Strong. It's all right.
Good times.
Did you want to talk about what you do, Auntie, for enjoyment?
What do I do for enjoyment? I guess I've been delving more into the creative side as well. I've been trying at least. I want to do more. I kind of stopped like last week, but I've been painting, watercolor, sketching.
See,
artiste.
And it's our outro music. Well, thanks for joining.
Bye. Are you gonna show us some of your drawings and paintings?
I want to see your paintings.
Eventually, but like, I feel nervous. No,
you don't have to, but we would enjoy it.
Not right now, but I will eventually. Like,
I can also
draw like one really good thing, and then I'll show that one thing.
I can show you guys some shitty drawings. Some mood ponds. So like I fill in every day with the colors.
Oh, that's actually art.
That's
cool. Thank you.
Wow. Is that a Pinterest idea?
If I showed you mine, you'd be like,
no, we wouldn't.
See,
I like that. That's beautiful. Gorgeous.
My sister gave me a journal for me to do something similar, but I'm just not that artistic.
Oh, beautiful.
Wow.
Nijmeh. Amazing.
Antoinette, you're doing art. What else are you doing to enjoy your life?
I kind of do like meditation. What else? I don't even know.
Watching movies?
I'm not a big movie watcher. Like, I'm not a big movie or Netflix person. It's really bad. Maybe Law and Order.
Law and Order?
Law and Order is good.
That's my thing. Like, if I find one thing, I stick to it. So I have, like, my Fire Stick. And they have the area where it's like shows and it's just 24-hour reels of that one particular show. So I can sit there and watch hours of Law and Order. Even if I've seen it again, I'm like, shh, my favorite part's coming on. Like,
I'm that 45-year-old woman. I love it.
This is it. Exactly. I haven't been getting up that early. So like, I don't have to fill a lot of my day. Because like even today, like I woke up 10 o'clock, I was like, yeah, and then I fell asleep, and then I was up at 1:30, so I got up like 3 hours ago.
You do love a good sleep.
But it's terrible. It's terrible.
No, I love that about you. I love that if you are taking a nap, you will set aside time in your day and be like, do not call me. This isn't a light nap. This isn't like you're welcome to interrupt. Like this is my set aside time. Like, do not talk to me. I'm napping. I respect that.
So much other things with that time, but
see, I used to take a lot of naps when I was young and depressed, but then I started writing, and so instead of napping, I just write out my naps. I like instead of lying in bed and daydreaming, which is what I would really do instead of sleeping, I just write it. So it's productive.
A word, yes, that is production.
Like napping.
Productivity. Me too.
And I think I'm really good at napping. It makes me feel sick. Like if I nap in the middle of the day, I wake up and I feel nauseous, and I don't know why.
I wish I felt like that, honestly, because like when
I envy you.
You know how they're like they give you the papers like what your name is, what your hobbies are, like what's your favorite color. Mine was like Antoinette napping, and everyone was like, ha ha ha. I'm like, you just watch.
Yeah.
Like, where's Antoinette? Knock on my door, and I'm like,
but you can even tell from how clear your skin is and how it's glowing, how much how rested you are.
Yeah, that's good for
a glowing creature.
But like, even if you feel sick after you nap, you could just nap again.
The real talk.
Keep napping, and
like I don't know.
Feel it.
Yeah, I've never seen the problem of being like, well, I could just like continue.
It's like I think I'll just go back to sleep.
Like, I don't know, my sleep schedule is either like I'm asleep or awake, and I know that sounds simple, but I mean like I'm either fully hibernating for like 12 hours or I'm awake for 48. Like you can get either or. I'm happy to bounce.
My body sleeps for 8 hours and then it wakes up, and it doesn't matter what time that is, but I'm awake.
Well, that's nice for you, isn't it?
No, it means that like if I go to sleep at 2 a.m, I won't wake up for 8 hours. If I go to sleep at 10 o'clock, like I wake up 8 hours later. It's just like 8 hours. That's what you're getting.
No, my body needs like
negotiation with the body. Otherwise, it's not going to be happy.
No,
when
I was
stay
born
up too late. I can't go to sleep.
What?
I go to sleep. I just always wake up at 7:30, no matter what time I go to sleep.
Dang, that's a rough one.
I don't sleep in. I can't
rough.
sleep in, and I can't nap.
No.
That's rough.
Situation.
But then it also makes you a really productive member of society.
It does. It does.
Because I'm
Except
like,
for when you've only slept for 4 hours and you actually can't focus.
my entire university experience.
No.
Oh dear, this is getting tiresome.
Well, no, I was born for the eternal sleep. I know that. Like, I know that's my destiny.
So dramatic.
I clean my glasses.
Eternal sleep.
Sounds grim, but it's like fun. It's like
it's grim, but it's fun.
You know, it's fun, fresh, flirty, and fertile. So.
Did you say, Wallace, how you enjoy?
Do you want to? After my eternal sleep comment, I you know, I'm enjoying all my privileges. Like, I'm with my family. I'm here in this beautiful country. I go for walks.
That's enjoyment.
Because
hanging out with your
fam
jam, walking.
I should be more aware of the fact that I have quite a lot of offers of security and stability in comparison to a lot of other people in the world, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, despite everything else that, you know, we have to contend with as women of color, and, you know, yeah, I don't know. Netflix is really great. I just watched Fringe, which is a great TV show with my mom. If you guys want a new
show?
I mean, women
called
Which show?
Fringe.
Fringe. Just to recap what we've talked about so far, it helps with depression because it sees activity as medicine, and it really does work according to like there's actual like evidence, you know, like peer-reviewed evidence. And it helps with anxiety because it lessens the time available to worry. And you should be doing something that's body care, achievement, connection with others, and enjoyment every day. And it's really important to actually schedule these things. Like, it's annoying to have to schedule, but when you're feeling low and when you're feeling anxious, it's hard to think in general. It's hard to know what's good for you. And when you've scheduled it, it's really good to know that you can just follow the plan, just do the plan. And in the service that we work for, we always tell people, follow the plan, not the mood. Because no, you're not going to feel like going for a run at 8 o'clock in the morning when you're in your bed. Mm-hmm. But I can tell, because I actually spent a week when I was like, I'm going to see what I feel like not doing it. And I felt like crap. I started getting out of bed later and later every day, to the point that like I'd be getting out of bed when meetings are about to start, and I'd be grumpy, I'd be sad, like it was just not good. And then I started running again, and even though I didn't feel like doing it at the time, afterward I felt amazing. I realized how much it actually helped me. And so it's actually scheduling these things and using things like I use the iCalendar app. I also have a daily like to-do list on my notes app to remind you like what things I have to do. And putting timer reminders on your phone, and just remembering to follow the plan and not the mood. So that's the biggest thing in terms of like CBT and maintaining structure, especially in this time when there's less structure, ideally.